कच्छ में कहाँ जाओगी दीदी?
कुछ दिनों की छुट्टी है तो सोचा पूरा कच्छ घूम लेती हूँ।
हमारा कच्छ इतना छोटा थोड़ी ना है दीदी। यहाँ के लोग, रंग ढंग, सब कुछ देखना है तो थोड़ा घूमना पड़ेगा। चलो मैं आपको कच्छ घुमाती हूँ और दिखाती हूँ कि इसके कण कण में कितनी कारीगरी है।
मैं आपको पूरा कच्छ तो नहीं घुमा सकती, but I'll take you through this campaign inspired by the Run of Kutch. Reliance Jewels welcomes you to the exclusive preview of the RANNKAAR project. India is known for its craft and culture, history and heritage, temples and traditions. And every year, Reliance Jewels designs a jewellery campaign that is based on a cultural theme inspired by different parts of India. The journey started with Apurvam, that was inspired by Hampi, and went on to Utkala and Kasyam, that were inspired by Odisha and Banaras. And this year, the journey continues to a place that's a living embodiment of Indian craft culture, the Run of Kutch. To know more about the inspiration behind the jewellery, let's talk to the master Karigar of jewellery design herself, Sonali Sheth. Hi Sonali.
Hi. So, obviously after Kasyam and after Utkala, the question was what's next?
Yeah.
And, we were thinking of Kutch and we wanted to explore the sheer diversity of the region, the topography and the crafts practiced there. That was what attracted us.
Right.
But once we went there and we explored the area and discovered that there's no place in the world where so many different crafts are practiced, and each community having its own indigenous way of life, and then craft is woven into the life. Yeah. So that was what was most beautiful, and as a designer it was completely a heaven, because the motifs and the forms that you get over there you wouldn't find anywhere else. It's raw, but at the same time it's very rich.
Right.
So that's what it's inspired us.
Why is the collection called RANNKAAR? Let's hear the story behind the name from the master Karigar himself.
So, name RANNKAAR is an amalgamation of two words, Ran and Kalakar. No matter wherever you go in Kutch, you will find Kalakars everywhere and their Karigaris.
One visit to Kutch and you will know that there are approximately 35 live crafts that are practiced here, making it one of the few places in the world to have the highest number of craft forms. From the paintings of Rogan to the stitches of embroidery, from the mirrors of Lippan to the block prints of Ajrak, from the carvings of woodwork to the tie and dye of Bandhani, every handicraft, every artwork and every piece of clothing is handcrafted by the artisans. After going through thousands of designs, tracing different motifs and patterns, the RANNKAAR logo was handcrafted to bring out the true essence of Kutch. A closer look at it reveals how every element of the logo is inspired by various craft forms. For example, the peacock from the Rogan painting, the design patterns of the tattoo, the floral motifs of the embroidery and the mirror work of Lippan. Using the same designs, patterns and motifs, we handcrafted the complete set of alphabets. What you see here is the still imagery behind the campaign. In order to capture the expanse of Kutch, the campaign was entirely shot and run. If you closely observe, you will notice that even the clothing was inspired by various craft forms in order to bring alive the true inspiration behind the jewellery. Even the product shoot brings out the inspiration behind the jewellery by placing them alongside the actual craft forms. Each element is as intricate as the collection. To find out more about what went into the making of this campaign, let's talk to the master Karigar from Reliance Jewels, Anu.
We know that in India, consumers buy jewelry largely not just for adornment but also for an emotional purpose. And that is the connect that Reliance Jewels really wants to bring about. And in this case particularly, every single product that we've designed has a story to tell. right? And that is one of the reasons why we feel consumers who typically, and in India, who typically look at jewelry as an emotional buy, can connect furthermore to their own roots.
Kutch is a land known not just for its craft, but also for its music. The folk music here has an identity of its own. But what truly fascinates me is the lyrics of the RANNKAAR song are written to reflect the essence of Kutch in its every stanza. Let's talk to the master Karigar of lyrics, Manish Bhatt.
So, Reliance Jewels, this particular cultural theme-based collections actually give us a lot of adventurous opportunity to write lyrics. Like, for example, the first project by itself, Utkala, which is Odisha-based collection, which gave me an opportunity to write my life's first ever Sanskrit sloka. The second collection, which was Banaras-based, so we actually wrote Thumri in Braj Bhasha, first ever attempt of mine. And the third time when the RANNKAAR, lyrics to be written, I think it was a even more challenging opportunity, because writing an authentic folk song, Lok Geet, isn't easy, because it has to be validated by not only the urban poets, but also someone sitting in a on a remotest village in Kutch should be able to agree to what we write.
The RANNKAAR song is a harmonious medley of vocals and instruments. It has Kutch woven in its instruments and composition. To know how the essence of Kutch was woven into the song, we have with us the master Karigar of music, Rajat Dholakia, also known as Jugu Sir, who is a very well-known music composer in India and also a national award winner.
When Manish Bhai came with his research, and we were kind of discussing how to bring the essence of RANNKAAR RANNKAAR. Then we decided that we need a kind of enlargement and the establishment of the entire landscape of Kutch. So, ding gadha din dha karting ta ting ta ding gadha din dha karting ta. This is a special kind of a folk rhythm which is popular in Kutch, and it is in a very pralamb lay. Pralamb is a slow beat. And why it is pralamb? Because of the kind of that slow beat, you can see the vastness of Ran. So we started entire journey of RANNKAAR RANNKAAR with this pralamb lay beat, and then we wanted to bring some festival and the smile on the face of people, and suddenly the rhythm beat changes, and it started in Drutlay, and Vanna Gadhvi sang this song, and lots of folk people, females from the Kutch, and just to bring the smile and charm, we kind of composed the song in two different kind of tempos, two rhythm. So it starts with a pralamb lay, and then ding ta kach 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 ding ta ta ding kach 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 ta ding kach ding. Chalke 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 chalke. So suddenly you will find even a smile on that beat. And the way Manish Bhai wrote this song is a amazing inspired song. You will not find this song is written. You will find it's a folk song. And And RANNKAAR, for example, you will not find that it's a campaign. It's a straightway from the soil of a desert. And it is fantastic. This is my amazing, unbelievable experience. I've done many ads, but this is a very research-oriented kind of a work, and all the best to everyone.
Sound designing is an art in itself. Let's meet the master Karigar of sound, Bishwadeep Chatterjee, to know more about the elements that were highlighted in the sound designing and mastering of the RANNKAAR song.
So when Juku approached me for this, and Manish, Juku and Manish approached me for this project, and when I heard the song, I immediately knew what was to be done, because apart from our familiarity the familiarity with Juku and the place, you were also quite familiar. You were also quite very familiar with the music of that region, and so the instruments, the Jodiya Pawa, the dhol, they are not very different from Rajasthani folk instruments. You know, they are like Rajasthani folk instruments, but with a different flavor. So it was great fun mixing it, because, like I was saying earlier, that you know, what guitar is to rock, dhol is to Kutchi folk music. So that was, I had to bring that out. So the dhol in that, which was very brilliantly programmed and produced by Rajiv. So he had very carefully tracked and recorded dhol, which made my mixing and mastering much easier. But so instinctively what happened was, when I heard the track, I started taking a route which I thought would do justice to the song. And I sent a rough mix to Juku, the music director. And he was very excited. He loved that route which we took. And then I started, developing on that, and eventually mastered and mixed the song. So when the film came to me, and meanwhile Rajiv was also, Manish was also sending me the kind of look of the film and how it would be. So mentally you were also doing a kind of a sound design of a barren desert, and with jewelry, women walking around. So very ethnic, very stark kind of this thing, and fantastic visuals by our DOP Sejal. So all this put together, I thought, like, mixing the song was far more interesting. Not just the song, but then certain elements like, the Rabadi women. We dubbed the Rabadi women again. So all that brought in a lot of authenticity to the scene, to the film. So yeah, I'm very excited, very happy that it has turned out the way it has.
The RANNKAAR film is a celebration of all things Kutch. It beautifully weaves in the song and the mesmerizing beauty of the run. Come, let's have a look at the RANNKAAR film.
ये भात भात नी जात ये जन जात जात नी भात।
कच्छ में कहाँ जाओगी दीदी?
कुछ दिनों की छुट्टी है, तो सोचा पूरा कच्छ घूम लेती हूँ।
हमारा कच्छ इतना छोटा थोड़ी ना है दीदी। यहाँ के लोग, रंग ढंग, सब कुछ देखना है तो थोड़ा घूमना पड़ेगा। चलो मैं आपको कच्छ घुमाती हूँ और दिखाती हूँ कि इसके कण कण में कितनी कारीगरी है। रंगना
राणिया मारू सोने साजी शणगार आज या मारू रण करे
An exquisite jewelry collection inspired by Ran of Kutch, जिसके कण कण में है कारीगरी. Reliance Jewels.
The true element of the RANNKAAR campaign is the film. It captures the beauty of Rann like no other. And to talk about it, we have with us the master Karigars of filmmaking, cinematographer Sejal Shah, director Sachin Kotre, and producer Naveed Khan. So, I would like to ask you, how did you bring the true essence of Kutch on screen cinematically?
When the script was presented to us, obviously there were two diverse components of the idea. One is the jewellery, the Reliance jewels, which is all about detail and intricate carvings and a lot of intricate Karigari work that's inspired from the land. My idea right from the beginning was to juxtapose the delicate carvings against the huge cinematic landscapes of Kutch.
And Kutch also comes with a plethora of colors, you know. Even when you look at the spectrum, it's got a vivid and a varied spectrum. Unseen, unfelt, unheard. We've only seen it in bits and pieces, but to see it come alive in a film of this type. Why? Because it begins with a narration, it begins with a song which resonates, which is what I've been saying a million times. It just resonates. And that allows you to breathe, that allows you to create those images. One gentleman that I'm extremely thankful who brought all of us together is the man who's already on the right of me, who's not in frame right now, is the gentleman called Manish Bhatt. It starts with him. The very idea that germinated, it started there. We all met up. He had an idea in mind, he had a thought in mind, and then what was written and what was not written and how he wanted to see it, that really went down well for all of us. And then when I met up with Sachin and I requested him that, well, can we have this written down in the manner that we are all on one page? And it's there before us to see. It just fell in place. Rhythm, as I say, very, very, very rhythmic. If this was not rhythmic, well, it's just not about taking a phone camera and getting into Kutch and saying, oh, let's shoot. It doesn't happen like that, right? There's a whole entourage. There's a whole pre-plan that takes this entire mammoth crew, not just going into shoot, but you know, mentally you're programming yourself to make sure that, okay, I have to get this happening. How does that happen? That's where this gentleman comes in.
We running this company for past 12 years, and this is unlike any other project. This project is more of a chain reaction that actually starts, as Sejal sir mentioned, from Mr. Manish Bhatt. The enthusiasm that is managed to infuse in each one of us, and in turn we have managed to infuse the same enthusiasm to our team members, I think is what's making this project. And also, I mean, end of the day, this is advertising. We all do advertising, but this is our first project which is not advertising for us.
Can you beat that? Is what I'm saying. It's not advertising.
It is not advertising.
It is not advertising by no standards. It is not. It can't be.
And at the same time, it is advertising because we are talking about a product, right? But the way this collaboration has happened as equals. There is no agency, there is no client, there is no producer, there is no director, there is no cinematographer.
Exactly.
Everybody, there is no music director. Everybody's worked as an equal. Everybody has been putting their ideas forward, their thoughts forward.
You know, after many years of us working in advertising in different capacities with Naveed and with Sejal sir, after a really long time, to be honest, you know, there is a script that makes me think as a director. almost 80 to 90% of the films today have film stars, which are on the left side of the frame, and there's a product on the right side of the frame, and there is not much invention to do. But when Scarecrow sent us the script right from the beginning, we knew, and I told Sejal sir that this is one for the bookmarks. We knew it right then, and that's why our efforts in making and producing and coming out with the spectrum of colors, like Sejal sir rightly said, was very important. And I'm glad that it's turned out exactly the way we wanted it. And it's turned out exactly the way Manish sir visualized it.
To me, it starts there.
It's also exactly the way probably our clients wanted it.
Yeah.
Because